Hello class. Today we are going to talk on nuclear medicine. This nuclear medicine is very new to our dentistry. It was previously in medicine departments. It started early. Now nuclear medicine, the content which we are going to talk today is radioactivity, gamma camera, PET scan and SPECT scans, nuclear medicine studies, what are the team of nuclear medicine, and what are the safety which we should take in while performing in nuclear medicine. Now, what is nuclear medicine? It is a branch of medicine that uses radioactive substances in diagnosis and therapy. These substances consist of pharmaceuticals labeled with radioisotopes called radiopharmaceuticals. In diagnosis, radioactive substances are administered to patient and the radiation emitted is measured and location recorded. In therapy, radioisotopes are administered to treat diseases. Nuclear medicine technique use a carrier molecule selected to target the organ and tissues of interest tagged with radioisotope which is emitting gamma ray. Administration of radioactivity. The routes of administration for radioactive substance include: one is intravenous injections. The radioactive substance is injected into a vein. Second, subcutaneous injections. Radioactive substance is injected under the skin. Inhalation. Some radioactive substance and radioisotopes are inhaled by the patient. And fourth is ingestion. So radioactive substance can be ingested. Now, what is radiopharmaceuticals? The radioactive material administered to patients are known as radiopharmaceuticals. These consist of chemical molecule which determines the behavior of radiopharmaceuticals in the body. The radiation emitted by the radionuclide may be detected from outside the body by a radionuclide imaging device or may be detected in a sample of body fluid, plasma or urine. Now, radionuclide must have certain properties. Then only it is going to act as radionuclide. First thing, it should emit gamma radiation. This gamma radiation with right energy, that is 120 keV to 300 keV, to allow detection by gamma camera. It should have a short half-life. It should be cheap. It should be readily available. Then, what are the examples of radionuclide at the target tissue or target diseases? Radionuclide are technetium-99m. Its half-life is 6 hours and targets are salivary gland, thyroid gland, bone, blood, liver, lung and heart. Then it is the radioactive iodine, that is iodine 131. Its half-life is 8 hours and its target are thyroid. Then we have a gallium 67. So its half-life is 70 to 8 hours. Its targets are tumors and inflammation. So what is gamma camera? Gamma camera is an electronic device used in medical diagnosis for imaging the distribution of radioactive compounds in the tissue after the patient by injection. In general, it is the device used for imaging in nuclear medicine for imaging the gamma ray emanating from radioactive compound in the body. Now, this is the gamma camera device in which patient is being placed while taking the nuclear imaging. This is the gantry in which patient can move whichever area it has to be taken. The part that makes up gamma camera is a collimator. In short, it is like a filter. Filter torrent knows rays so that it passes only rays that are almost parallel with sun, as shown in the picture. But if the user device without collimator will be filming the desired part from all sides by the next scan on every side, and therefore will not produce a clear or accurate picture. Then photomultiplier tube. The machine reveals a bigger electron produced by the cathode. In this photomultiplier tube, we can see that the base there is anode, which in turn attracts such a large group of electrons and convert it into electrical pulse. Each gamma camera with a range of these pipes are arranged geometrically, particular the model, and the camera has 37 to 91 tubes as shown here. All these are converted signals to the computer and then is used for certain programs to bring out the image, a three-dimensional, either by gray or it could be colored. Now PET and SPECT. What is positron emitting tomography and single photon emitting computed tomography. So positron emission tomography or PET is a medical imaging technology that enables physicians to view how organ systems of the body are functioning at a cellular level. PET is surpassed as a definitive diagnostic tool because it can help the physician detect diseases such as cancer and Alzheimer's. It determines appropriate treatment for that disease. They efficiently track the body and responds to the treatment. It was developed in the mid-70s and it was first scanning method to give functional information about the brain. What are some of the uses for PET? Patient with condition affecting the brain, heart, certain types of cancer, Alzheimer's disease, some neurological disorders. What is SPECT? A single photon emission computed tomography scan lets your doctor analyze the function of some of your internal organs. A SPECT scan is a type of nuclear imaging test, which means it uses a radioactive substance and has a special camera to create 3D pictures. What are some of the uses of SPECT? Heart imaging, brain imaging, tumor detection, and bone scan. PET versus SPECT. What is the difference between these two? PET emits positron. SPECT emits gamma radiation. PET has a higher resolution. SPECT has a lower resolution. PET is little costlier and SPECT little less capital intensive scanner. PET has a limited half-life, which radionuclides we use, it has a limited half-life, and SPECT has a longer-lived radioisotopes. So some nuclear medicine studies are neurologic, that is in diagnose stroke, diagnose Alzheimer's. We can see that and demonstrate the changes in the brain. Disease aids dementia. Oncologic tumor localization can be done. Tumor staging can be done. Identification of bone pain due to metastatic cancer. In renal, we can diagnose renovascular problems, obstruction hypertension, detect renal transplant and rejection of renal function. In cardiac, we can select patient for artery bypass or angioplasty. localized toxicity due to acute myocardial chemotherapy, infarction, identify cardiac shunts, pulmonary diagnose and qualify pulmonary functions, emboli perfusion, detect pulmonary diseases and complications of AIDS. In orthopedic problems, we can identify bone trauma, diagnose osteomyelitis, evaluate the arthritic changes which are very small in size. Other common applications which are there to diagnose and treat thyroid cancer. Hypothyroidism or metastatic spread can also be seen. Detect acute GI and cholecystitis bleeding. Detect testicular torsion and infections. Now, what should be the nuclear medicine team? Nuclear medicine radiologist is must in this team, also called nuclear radiologist or a physician who use radioactive materials and to diagnose and treat the diseases. Then second should be nuclear pharmacist, once known as radiation pharmacist or radiopharmacist, is specialized in preparing, dispensing and distribution of radiopharmaceuticals or radioactive drugs. It has to be very calculated and very environmental safe zone to do so. Then nuclear medicine physicist. A nuclear medicine physicist works with nuclear imaging, instrumentation and radiation dosimetry. How much radiation has to be given, how much body can sustain, that is decided by nuclear medicine physicist. Then nuclear medicine technologist. Without that, a team cannot work only. A nuclear medicine technologist works closely with the nuclear medicine radiologist. The technologist may prepare and administer radiopharmaceuticals, perform imaging procedures, enhance the images, and utilize a computer and analyze the biological specimens. Now, what are the safety procedures which we should take in nuclear medicine? 3 effective stages of safety. Time, minimize the time you will minimize the dose. Plan the experiment and procedure to minimize the exposure time. Distance should be doubling the distance from the source can reduce the exposure intensity by 25%. Use forceps, tong, tray to increase your distance from the radiation source. Move the item being worked on away from radiation area if possible. Know the radiation intensity where you are performing most of your work and move to lower dose area during work delays. Now, shielding is must. Position shielding between yourself and the source of radiation at all permissible time. Take advantage of permanent shielding if it is there. Select appropriate shielding material using during planning and staging of the experiment. See how it has been shielded by a lead glass. These vials are kept in lead containers. So this is the safety procedure we should have. And now I'll finish up this lecture. We'll meet sometime else. Thank you.